Muchacho as they come now towards the final hurdle. First impression, El Muchacho. Those two battle for the lead. Fruit and Nuts staying on behind them. Here they are at the last hurdle now. El Muchacho picks up perhaps just in front of First Impression. And on the run in, it's El Muchacho and Harry Cobden. First Impression is coming back at El Muchacho. First Impression now wearing down El Muchacho. And First Impression, last year's runner-up, has got one better. Beats El Muchacho.
Has been pulled up. So they're making the turn in, and it's at this point that Bubble Doobie has cruised into the lead, but still has the attentions of Word Has It to see off, as now they're quickening up and they're racing down towards the final flight. Over on the far side, Bubble Doobie. Towards the near side is Word Has It as they rise at the 8th and final flight. The leader was Bubble Doobie, but was not fluent. They've still got another 150 yards to go. Bubble Doobie on the far side has quickened up the best. He's travelled like the best, and he's going to win handsomely. It is Bubble Doobie in front. In second came Word Has It, and there's a long...
Then comes Hydroplane and Galore d'Essence heading to the final two flights. Sonagino now being ridden along and challenged by Move It Like Mini. Coming into it still, Too Friendly in between runners is putting up a challenge. Then comes Ball Barley and Hunter's Call. It's Sonagino just in front, challenged now by Too Friendly. Move It Like Mini has got work to do in third, heading towards the final flight. Then not much between Sonagino, joined by Too Friendly.
Watch judged on what the market's saying.
OK, and Too Friendly in the first-time blinkers. Well, they've got to work, but this is perhaps just more his trip. And, you know, he could be a fairly treated horse. But wants the blinkers to work. There you go. Nice open stuff, this. Nyla, tale of the day.
Yeah, and so it should be. £50,000 an offer. And for horses, you know, you got a guys you rate 110, having a crack at a prize, I guess, here and being supported. Dick Killen's Quinn's very useful £5 claim into effect. This horse only got 9 stone 13 on his back.
Yeah, I think another horse that's been positive in the market is Big Boy Bobby, who ran at Fakenham last time out. He ran in the same race, actually, as Take It Easy, who finished ahead of Big Boy Bobby that day. But the ground had gone pretty soft, and I think it was unsuitable for Big Boy Bobby. So he's going to be better suited by these drying conditions this afternoon, I think, than he was 3 weeks ago at Fakenham. And he went into his last run as an improving horse, and the market has spoken quite positively about him. But it's a busy little betting heat, isn't it? And it's a really competitive race to open up with. I'm expecting the pace to be strong. I think Gallus McCarlo likes to get on with things. The mare in there for Jane Williams, James Best riding her for the first time. She's a keen goer. Whiz Kid will not be too far away either under Luke Scott, who's struck up a good relationship with him. And then you've got the likes of Fringle Dyke, who I would expect to be prominent, and Risk D'Argent as well. So I think the pace will be quite a strong one. That will suit both of the market principles here, Too Friendly and Bubble Doobie. They'll both be coming off the pace, I think. Both strong travelling horses. Yeah. Too Friendly at times can be a little bit too keen, and he will want a strong pace, particularly with those blinkers on, because there's just a chance he's a bit lit up with the headgear on first time.
And it's hard enough to do it around here in a field of 13 runners to
pick your way through.
Yeah,
it could be a race where there's a hard luck story or two for sure. Kieran Gethins is going to be trying to make moves as they turn in with 3 to jump on Bubble Doobie, and it doesn't always work out for you. Horses can nip away on the front end a little bit, and even the way the lining up down at the start, that recent Doncaster winner Whiz Kid, he's going to be up there. I just wondered with him whether nowadays he might prefer a slightly stiffer test than this. It took him a long while to get going at Doncaster, and he just got there late. But that was a good performance, and conditions are still very much suitable for Whiz Kid this afternoon, who comes here for the Dr. Richard Newland Yard, who are in good form, and they have a few chances.
Too Friendly dropped in. He's got quite warm. It is a warm enough afternoon, but he's markedly warmer than his rivals.
He is, yeah. The risk with him is whether the blinkers, I can see why they've done it, but the blinkers for a keen going horse like he is, who travels well, they could just light him up a little bit too much. It looks like Harry Skelton's going to switch him right off at the back of the field and hope that he gets a bit of luck.
OK, we'll find out shortly. It's the cavalli.co.uk Challenger 2 Mile Hurdle Series Final. Handicap hurdle over the minimum trip and £50,000 on offer. Looks like Fringle Dyke will be going forward. Starters on the rostrum. Whiz Kid also wanting a prominent pitch as they walk forward. The flag is aloft and not yet raised. I'm actually hearing from Stuart Machin, so it's still a little bit away from it, off the crown of the bend. And we're set to go for the first of 7 here at Haydock. Let's get up to Stuart and get the call.
Walking in steadily at the bottom of the home straight. Just under 2 miles to cover on the way round here. And if they come in as quietly as this, we could get a first timer. Fringledike handy on the right. They're off for the Cavani.co.uk Challenger 2 Mile Hurdle Series final. Betting suggested it was going to be competitive. And they haven't gone off that sharply either, with Agaggio in the green and black, one of the first to show up. Wizkid towards the far side with the red cap is handy. Bashful Boy in the blue and white also in the leading line. Kusu Main towards the rear down at the running rail. Green and white silks noseband. It didn't seem to see an awful lot of daylight as Agaggio, Bashful Boy and Wizkid lead them to the third, with Galisma Carlo on the near side in the orange colours going handy. The white-faced mare, she invariably races up with the pace. They draw towards the third. Bashful Boy taking off just ahead from Agaggio. And then Wizkid. Now, Fringledike was slow going into the third, slow over it, and as a consequence, has lost a bit of ground on the others. He had to be cajoled along in last place. Manages to get himself back in touch now in the orange silks, as Bashful Boy and Jack Tudor, new stable jockey to David Pipe, lead under the judge with a long run to the fourth. To Agaggio on the inner. Galisma Carlo racing in third, and Wizkid, the red cap, in fourth. And then Neati in a red jacket, wide of one of the greys, Gris d'Argent, Johnny Burke aboard in the grey and red spots, with Big Boy Bobby in a striped jacket tucked away in midfield, alongside the other of the greys, Castle Gandolfo, black jacket for Paddy Brenham. Wide of that pair is Bubble Doobie, who's ridden with restraint, the yellow and blue, yellow cap for Kieran Gethings. Held up amongst the back markers, two friendly yellow jackets. Take It Easy is also held up, the red and white on the cap. Kusu Main in the noseband last but one, and Fringledike last of all, and over the fourth they go with about, 8 or 10 lengths covering the field. Still fairly well grouped then, heading towards halfway, moving towards the fifth. Agaggio in the black and green and Bashful Boy in the cheap piece is the leading pair. To Galisma Carlo and Wizkid, Neati close up on the far side. And then Risk d'Argent, followed over by Bubble Doobie, Big Boy Bobby down on the end of the white sleeves, and then the grey Castle Gandolfo. To Take It Easy, two friendly yellow jacket under heavy restraint from Harry Skelton, racing alongside Fringledike, and Kusu Main is now at the tail. Over the sixth, the last of the flights in the back straight, and still fairly well clustered up with Agaggio and Colleen Quinn leading them towards the far corner inside the last 3/4 of a mile. Reminders in rear and out wide for Fringledike, who hasn't travelled with quite as much momentum at various stages in the race as one or two of the others. And Agaggio is just beginning to get loose on the lead. Opens up by 3 or 4 lengths to Wizkid, the red cap, heading the chase. And then Bashful Boy, Galisma Carlo out wide away to the left on straightening further left, the nose-banded Neati. Big Boy Bobby on the far side of the grey Risk d'Argent. Bubble Doobie in the yellow and blue is beginning to thread through the field now, getting significantly closer. Followed by Castle Gandolfo and two friendly yellow jacket also on the move. Here's 3 out coming up to them. Agaggio put down on that when he needed a good jump, and Bashful Boy has taken a tumbling fall, crashed out there at the third last. Bashful Boy, and he also slightly hampered, and as a consequence crashed out Take It Easy. So on between the final 2 flights they come. It's Agaggio to Castle Gandolfo, Wizkid. Bubble Doobie on the left after maximum effort. Over the final flight, Agaggio, Castle Gandolfo chasing but just leaning into the rail. Wizkid is back in third, and then Bubble Doobie in fourth. Agaggio being driven all out, staying on powerfully with 100 yards to cover, and it's Agaggio for the bang-informed team of Gary Moore and Kaylin Quinn. Agaggio runs out a gutsy winner. Castle Gandolfo second again in the race. Bubble Doobie in third, followed home by Wizkid Neati. Then working back to 2 friendly. Last ones are still coming. Fringledike was last of all. Both those fallers, horses at least up on their feet okay.
Well, this is a good bit of place, and whatever way you slice and dice it, a horse rate of 110 has just won a £50,000 handicap hurdle in the hands of Kaylin Quinn, taking £5. Useful £5. Beats Castle Gandolfo second for Fergal O'Brien and Paddy Brennan. The first two well clear. 3 from home. We lost Bashful Boy, brought down Take It Easy. I believe Horse and Jockeys are okay, but impressive winner.
Very much so, and this is a massive success story for the Gary Moore yard. He's won 7 times now since he joined the yard. Those 7 wins have been all in the last 12 and a half months. He was picked up out of a cellar for a 3-runner cellar that he won at Goodwood one day for Sophie Leach. And I think I remember the owner being interviewed after the race.
He went in the toilet and just came back and thought, I'll buy that.
He decided that he would buy a horse. Now, whether he's still in the same ownership or not, I don't know, but he's with the same yard. And he's been a massive success. And look, brave, aggressive ride from Caelan Quinn. We know that on pretty lively ground around here, it is drying out. And I'd say it's probably going to be close to good. On drying ground around here, it's not easy to make up a lot of ground from off the pace. And he's used those tactics to good effect.
He certainly has. We'll try and grab a word with the winning trainer if he's here, but Agaju's won our opening contest. We'll walk. Agaju's won our opening contest, £50,000. Caelan Quinn, you don't come here very often, but Botox has earned in the season. Now this fella.
Yeah, seems to be in my lucky place now, and all credit to this is to Josh. He was adamant we come up here with him today. He gave me my instructions to, pop him out.